Today we're going to be talking about the powers of Taurus. Today we're going to be talking about the zodiac sign of Taurus, the material girl of the zodiac, right after Taurus's ruler, Venus herself. I am Dave the Amateur Magus. On this channel I talk all about the mechanics behind ceremonial magic, occultism, esotericism, and the mechanics behind everything you can find within a dusty old grimoire. On today's episode we will be talking about the zodiac sign of Taurus and what it can be used for in a magical context. If you enjoy what I do here and you want to support the channel, go down the link in the description and support us on Patreon, where you get exclusive access to content such as content early, Patreon exclusive videos, and the Occultic Manual series, which is a monthly write-up at an intermediate level, which is slightly more advanced than what I put on the channel most of the time. The zodiac sign of Taurus is the second zodiac sign in the Western astrological system. It is right behind Aries, but right before Gemini. It is the first of the feminine or receptive signs, and it is the sign of fixed Earth. This means that the zodiac sign of Taurus is the sign that is the least mobile of all the zodiac signs. That being said, it is also the zodiac sign that is the least likely to stop moving due to the fact that the element of Earth is most prone to inertia. This inertia is why the zodiac sign of Taurus is detrimental to the planetary power of Mars. Mars is the planetary power of energy, and the sign of Taurus really just wants to laze around, eat cake, enjoy really luxurious, nice, comfy beds, and enjoy basically just lounging around all day and enjoying a state of pure luxury and pure comfort, as well as being pure beautiful. Which, Mars does not care about any of these things. Mars does not care about beauty. Mars does not care about the arts. Mars cares about getting up, fighting wars, and enjoying in the glorious combat of the martial sports. Contrast that with the planetary power of Venus, which rules Taurus. Venus is going to be much more at home in her ruling sign of Taurus. Venus loves being in Taurus, because Venus doesn't really have to do anything. She is waited on hand and foot as she desires, and this is going to just be where Venus is very much at home. Venus wants to be loved, cherished, beautiful, and not really having to do anything. Venus does not want to have to go to war like Mars does. Venus wants to just enjoy her time and just do all of the things Venus does. Venus is a patron of the fine arts, after all. That being said, there is one planetary power that enjoys being in the sign of Taurus more than Venus herself, and that is going to be the sign of the planetary power of the moon, so to speak. Luna herself is going to enjoy the stability provided by passing through the sign of Taurus, because the sign of Taurus really doesn't move. That being said, there's kind of a give and take here, as the sign of Taurus does not move unless it is kind of emotionally forced to, which the moon assists with by giving it the emotional force required for the sign of Taurus to actually make the moves to grow its big, comfy, luxurious bed, and various other comfy, artsy things that the sign of Taurus is known for. You could make the argument that there is also some artistic frenzy in here, like when you get that emotional art, like, you know, when we talk about how art has soul, this is part of what we are talking about, where if you are using the emotional force of the moon and you are combining it through, or using it through, the zodiac sign of Taurus, this allows you to instill emotional soul into the work of art that you are working with. From here, we have the planets that really don't care one way or another. When the sun is transiting the sign of Taurus, it leads to much more stability. This also means that spring is in full effect. The gardens are blooming, everything is getting wonderful, and springtime is just kind of happening. It's where we have gotten over the warmth provided by Aries, and we are now in a much more temperate climate and a much more temperate weather. And this is also the season where we get the flowers blooming, nature's art pieces, if you would, due to the fact that the sun enters Taurus around April 21st, roughly, and that is when April April into May is when we start to see all the flowers bloom and all of the plant life grow into the wonders of nature we are commonly known for seeing in springtime. Planetary Power of Jupiter is going to be expanding the luxury and art. It is going to be a big fan of artistic media. It's going to be a big fan of art in general, and it really just enjoys... Take what I said about Venus and ramp it up, but it has no real affinity for it, so to speak. It's kind of like the person who buys all the fancy art because they think they should, not because they actually like the art. It's kind of enjoying the art for the sake of, oh, I just have this, it's kind of interesting. And some people might find it to be like, it might invest in that art as an investment. Like, oh, I'm buying this art because it's an investment. I'm a patron of the arts, you see, that kind of thing. Mercury is going to be a little bit different, though. Mercury, because the mercurial powers are so strange compared to the other ones, is going to be the planetary power where Mercury is going to really be grounded. The speed of Mercury is grounded to a very large degree. These are the kind of people who, when you see them, they're going to be very slow, and as the conversation goes on, they're going to pick up in the tone and speed that they're talking in. If they enjoy a conversation, they can take it, and they can really commit to that conversation for literally hours. If they don't enjoy a conversation, it's not going to get off the ground. That is really how that's going to work. The focus on Mercury and Taurus is going to be about Mercury being grounded in physical pleasures. This is most dramatically shown in the form of cooking. Mercury in Taurus, in my experience, all Mercury in Taurus people know how to cook very well. They always know how to cook very well. Not to say other signs and other placements can't cook, but it seems that Mercury in Taurus people really are the kind of people who go out of their way to learn cooking as an art form in and of itself. Because Mercury really likes working with the hands, and this is one of the best ways to work with your hands through the sign of Taurus. Which leads us to the final of the traditional 7 planetary powers, and that is going to be Saturn. Saturn is going to make you work for that luxury. Saturn is going to give a good work ethic because it is mandatory for you to have one. Saturn is going to make it so that you are constantly working on things, and you are constantly trying to get that bread, so to speak, and you are constantly trying to get fancier and more lucrative and more shiny and expensive things. This is why you see people with Saturn in Taurus either being completely broke or being workaholics. It is because they have learned that work is the best way to make money and to provide for the lifestyle that they desire. Which, depending on their situation and the rest of their natal chart, might actually be true, at least for them. So what can we use the magical powers of Taurus for? Well, the magical powers of Taurus are going to bring the energy of the divine into a talisman, primarily. And that is a bulk majority of what Taurus is going to be used for, other than money spells, luxury spells, and the like. That is really what you're going to have with the sign of Taurus. However, there is a rule that if things are not working out with the sign of Taurus, you should be using the sign of Capricorn. And the reason why you would use the sign of Capricorn instead of Taurus is because Taurus is fixed Earth. Taurus is the sign of immovable Earth, whereas Capricorn is the sign of Earth becoming. So it is the sign of freezing and, freezing, solidification, and climbing the corporate ladder, so to speak. But yeah, this is also the sign you want to have planetary powers you're working with be in for beauty spells, and in particular, if you are trying to do beauty, luxury, art, for any artists out there, this is where you would want to be using this zodiac sign, or at least have your magic be done when planetary powers are in this zodiac sign, if you're not explicitly mentioning them. Once again, I have been Dave, the Amateur Magus. Thank you for everyone who supports over on Patreon. Link in the description below. Hope everyone is having a good day, and if you're not having a good day, hope your day gets better. Take it easy. Take care.